So if you're like me, you kind of like watching Doug DeMuro's Quirks and Features. I like learning things about cars that I'm curious about, weird things, cool little things out. Anyway, so I've got my car apart, and I thought maybe I'd go over a few things in case people are curious, might be interested to know. Anyway, I've got this thing taken largely apart to do some projects I won't get into. Let's just get right to it. So, starting from the front, each bank, now you can't really see it there, you can kind of see it there. Each bank has its own ECU. That's interesting. What else? The engine sits pretty low in the car, way down there below the subframe. That's kind of cool. I took the fender liners off. Ah, crap, I can't tell. So, the fender liners, let's see. So, that air scoop feeds air right into the oil cooler. That oil cooler has a duct that is actually built onto the fender liner, which is kind of cool, so that it vents into the wheel well and gets drawn out that way. Pretty neat. This air duct right there on that side feeds air into the intake, which feeds it into the air box. I have the tops of the air boxes off, so it comes through into the air box, which is actually the bottom piece. Air is brought actually up instead of going down, and into the mass air sensors. You can't see, but inside there's a butterfly system. The intake has long runners and short runners. They switch over almost like a Honda, from long to short depending on RPM, and there's a valve that does it in there in the middle. Let's see, what else. It looks like individual throttle bodies when you look at under these intake covers, but they're not, because obviously there's the throttle bodies. What else while I'm here? I guess that's it. So the reason that I had to do some repair is the exhaust manifolds actually drop down and then come up to where they meet the catalytic converters. So any crap that goes into the exhaust manifold actually can get sucked up into the motor because they attach way down there. So that's why I'm doing this work. That's a whole other, like I said, that's a different video. You can see a hole in the firewall there. The firewall, you can take it off to get to the accessory belts on the front, which is what makes the 360 probably one of the easiest cars to own. It's the first year they did that, and everything's relatively simple. The 430 has a bunch of electronics that I don't want to F with, so I stuck with the 360. Other than that, once all these covers are off, it's a lot like a race car. You can kind of get everything right to it. That's the container for the dry sump. Yes, I need to take it out and recondition it. That is the burpee for the radiator. They made that easy on me. What else? I guess that's kind of it for right now. So anyway, yeah, just some really cool features on the car. I'm taking all this apart because I'm redoing the engine and transmission mounts, which aren't that hard. Let's see if we can see them from here. Engine mounts are down there. Those are super easy to get to, especially with since I have the car on my lift. Thank God. Thank you, Mike, for selling me this bad boy. The transmission mount is going to be a little more difficult. You can't see it, but it's down under here. As soon as I get these air boxes off, you'll be able to get to it. 2 engine mounts and a transmission mount hold this whole thing together, which is probably why they need to be changed more often than most, especially if you drive it the way it's intended. What else? Oh, just for the heck of it. So I used to have an alarm on my dash that something's wrong with the suspension. It was that little sensor right there. That is a G-load sensor that affects the stability control. It was bad. I think, from what I could tell, I got the last new one in existence, so good luck to anybody whoever has to replace that. The orange that you're seeing on these valves, those have been replaced. It's so when the car rolls over, the no fuel is allowed. Everything kicks off. Kind of cool. And then you see orange on, that's what the fuel, that's the fuel pump hanger, one on each side. So all of those have been replaced. So I had to replace the fuel sending unit because they were a poor design to begin with. I've upgraded that to the new one, and the rollover thingamajiggies have been replaced. So that was kind of, hold on one second. Okay, I had to help my neighbor do something. Let's see what else. Exhaust manifolds came off pretty easy. Catalytic converters are still here. I didn't have to mess with those. They're still attached. What else? That window is like a bitch to keep clean because I'm short, and that means I have short arms. This window on the inside is also a little difficult, so I bought an apparatus that has a stick basically, and I can reach it a little bit easier. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to point out while I'm in here real quick. I think it's kind of weird that it's got these covers that come over to cover all this, but this section here stays open. I guess so you can get to that, but it looks kind of yucky because you can see all that, including the back of the taillights. Same on that side, but there's aftermarket carbon fiber pieces that go down this whole thing, but they're like $3,000, and screw that. Nobody sees it but me. What else? What else? Trying to think what else. That's for the transmission because I've got the F1 transmission. Those bolts look like they're not tightened down all the way, and it irritates the crap out of me, but they are. What other weird things are going on? Can't show you the air tube on the exhaust manifold that cracked because those are out getting repaired. I don't know. I guess that's it. But anyway, just some weird things this car had that as I use it, I find all these cool little things. Oh, it has some dry brake lines for the hydraulics for the most part. I thought that was kind of awesome. So I haven't done it, and I hope I don't have to, but I'm told this engine and transmission comes out with very little time and effort. You remove this subframe, undo some bolts, and boom, it comes right out. So, like I said, I hope I don't need to, but yeah, everything kind of disconnects real quick so it can be pulled out. What else? So I like looking at the gearbox hanging out down here like a Formula One car. Don't pay attention to how dirty it is. I got a glare on my camera, but I'm assuming I'm focused on that. I got to clean all of this. But yeah, gearbox hanging down is pretty super sweet. You can see those, I don't know what you call them, that airfoil going across is part of the OEM aerodynamics. When I get the diffuser or the under tray back on, it has a diffuser built in and it works with that. That's awesome. It's actual structural and aerodynamic. Really cool heat shielding everywhere. There's just heat shielding. That's black and nasty. I'll clean it, but that's heat shielding just everywhere. If you ever wanted a race car for the street, this would be one. So that's it. Anyway, just some cool things I wanted to share since we can see them all. That's it. Okay, bye.